definition is 45-55 ratio. It's a universal ratio. That we shouldn't be giving more than 70% to anything that we do. And
That one is not the digit based, you know. That's why you have to create, you have to apply that things. Whenever you face some any difficulties, whenever you see your friends certain difficulties, then just hold it. What's the problem? No doubt there is certain imbalance, let's say the status, you know. So you have to catch up that one. I told was said to him, like Peter, I don't know his was said the professional area, right? Professional was said the criteria or so what was it? That, you know.
Tax law.
Yeah. but you know definitely
not many.
because as long as this was said yin and yang is applied to anything, right? We are now under this condition, you know. That's why you can apply this one, and then create your own, let's say, on that field, you know. That's why then you know that there is nobody who competed with you. That's why you can, let's say, you have some good weapon, not the more maybe just equipment, you know. It's a great tool, gives us some great benefit, you know. Just always, just imagine, you already shut down, just to keep it down. This is what? On the inside, right? Inside, right? I'm young now. I'm just speak out, you know, energy out. You just keep receiving. Just keep inhaling. Keep inhaling. You have to exhale even more than inhalation, you know. Exhalation should be longer than inhalation, you know. There is a just common sense, you know, in someone who deal with some healthy or some job. So anyhow, just apply it, and then if you cannot apply it, please just convey it with some holding information to me. Then maybe if I just think, then maybe I can easily come out. What's the problem is, you know, and then we have to say that which one is yang. Which one is in that field, you know? I told you, right? Yin and yang is not fixed one, right? That's why, please understand, you have to see some core concept and then, give some solution for that. That one is your job, you know, actually. I'm now just giving some principle base, and then I just one or two cases as examples for make easy to understand you, right? You understand? That's why. There's a lot. Everything is here. No? That's why. That one is it applies everything. No? If that one is like a healthy case, that one is water fire down. It should be coming up. Please water even like this way. Maybe. Okay, let's go a little bit more. Okay, water fire down. This one is the which one is axis, you know? Water fire down is in axis actually. Water fire down. That one is in the earth space. It makes sense. Earth space. That's like a parallel. This is like we say the cross, right? Yin and yang. Understand? Yin and yang. Understand? Like this one. This meridian base. This one. Is meridian base is what? Where is axis? That one is the retro, right? Retro axis, right? When you do like latitudinal base, latitudinal what? There should be the axis like a particular perpendicular base, right? That's why I always please understand. In is the ins was said. Don't forget this one. Ins was said the purpose. The why you stay there as in status. Then you can say, my duty is the fire up, you know. That is your duty, please understand. Don't forget. It's a very important concept, you know, to understand the like yin and yang. Fire then, fire's job is not just to fire like use the energy, but no, that kind of fire energy your purpose is water down. Is it make sense? 아니, yeah, water down. Then water was something is a fire up. Is it make sense? Water is the fire down. That's why fire should be stay here. You know, this is a basic, your basement. You know, keeping your body powerful. Don't praise this one. It's here, right? Huh? Here is the water should be here. So-called power, and then knowledge or the wisdom should be here. Understand? Fire is not, you know, that's why Darun is a water, fire, the yin and yang's basic concept.
But Thomas, did I get this backwards? It's water up, fire down.
Mm-hmm.
It's a earth is an earth axis, which is yin.
Mm-hmm. It's the yin.
So then why would it not be yin and knowledge?
Yin and knowledge?
And knowledge.
Knowledge and then wisdom. Darun is inside, you know. Inside is actually the rooted in, the axis in the, like, how can I say, the like axis of the north and south pole, for example. That's why, you know, please understand, in base growing is like spread out. Yang base growing is like going up over here, you know. That's why even the like your concept in the Olympic must like Olympics was say the motto is what? Fast. Darun is yang, like a yang base. Is makes sense. But Darun is that's what say the core axis is in base. Is makes sense. It's going up and down. That's why the yang base is with the in is the like that's why this is now yang's axis is already finished. You know. Now we have to grow more this way, not this way anymore. This one is finished, you know. The growing like so perpendicular growing is finished. Now we have to growing this way. This one is in now it's in here. That's what the shifting from the let's say the shifting of the transition of this base, from the like this base from the this base and this base. North and south pole base is now this is because you already finished, you know. You finished, you know. This on
So that's
perpendicular
that's
growth.
knowledge.
What?
Up and down is the yang is the knowledge and yin is the wisdom.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
But please understand, like whenever you let's say think about something yin and yang, there are so many concepts, you know. Even the, for example, spiritual level and the spirituality is different, you know. The tendency of the spiritual level and the spiritual, let's say, the character is different, you know. Even the same level of the spiritual, let's say, the level, but the tendency is different, you know. That like, how can I, their character is different, you know. This is why. That's why, you know, anyhow, this one maybe this one is very, as for you, a little bit harder to apply, but when you keep, you know, the repeatedly understand, then that one is eventually you can grasp that kind of concept. You know? So that's why just to keep, you know, just to study and then try to don't be lazy to apply that one is in your daily life. You know? So does it make sense?
Yes.
So even you know, if you don't have any single, let's say the any suspected thing, then please in this time just to ask him, you know. So yin and yang is not just to be yin and yang, you know. This one is like someone there is yin and yang, then I know the yin and yang is how can I say? You know, that one is really so most deep. That's why I told you, right? As a human being who utilize yin and yang's concept most, That one is the Eastern, what's it, the Eastern doctor, right? But they learning the East, what's it, yin and yang through their whole life, you know. Because that one is more yin and yang was water. That one is very basic, you know. But how it applies in every single case, you know. That one is your job, you know. Please understand. And then also, if you cannot figure out, then please discuss with me, and then let's learn together with me, right? You see? For example, there's yin and yang is always man's opponent is what, woman, right? Yeah. Man's opponent can be the cockroach, right? That one is we don't need to compare it with the cockroach, you know. You see? It makes sense, right? That's why always you have to someone who can share the whole things is the certain ratio. Does it make sense? I cannot say the share my something with the cockroach, right? Please understand, like that kind of concept, you know. Maybe if you said I can say the compared with the, me and the cockroach, but that one is meaningless, you know, how stupid, you know. We don't need to spend the time like that way, right? Man and woman, right? Day and night, right? Day and midnight to 9 p.m. was. See, listen, that one is not that kind of thing. Day and night, you know, for example. Water and fire, right? Water and then very, let's say, the clay, but something, not that kind of things, you see? So we please, you know, we need to either check out, if you just solve out something, then you have to, let's say, if you understand very well, then you have to, if you see the certain problems, then definitely, if there is some things come out, then you have the power, which is the, like, the invisible side. You understand? That was in yang. Does it make sense, right? So, anything? Done?
And then in relation to that, you should get at least 30% to yourself.
But that one is
Yes,
like if you
yes,
do
yes.
the more than any just more lower than 30%, there is the no, I say the like a primary power, which is like a recover the stability, was it? Impossible. It's this collapse, you know. Let's go. Thereon is the prisoners, thereon is the fundamental cause. What causes the big, let's say, the imperial, well, like emperor, right? Roman emperor, that kind of things go on. Prisoners. Because they don't have that kind of concept, but because they don't know where to go. They're fully, let's say, the young base is fully grown up greatly. Then what? Then what? What's the purpose for this one? Because they don't have that kind of concept. That's why they just become a totally like a loss of what's say the physical abundance. That one is like used for the let's say the verifying there's some carnal let's say there's some let's say the satisfaction or something like that. When I say the carnal, then just tell me because in English, right? Then just you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Just tell and then give me some good word. Then through that way, I learn. You know, if you got some energy, you have to go out. You know, you have to give some little feeding. You know, then we let's say go together, right? You always receive what? Keep receiving, doing nothing. Please understand what is happening. Someone who really don't know, they has that much of some responsibility, right? Someone who learned very well and they do not, it's totally different, you know. Please understand. Always, you know, in this society, you know, like I said, right, yin and yang, it's like authority or power and duty should be well balanced, you know. You see? Authority, you know, authority was some your, let's say the power given from the some your society, right? That one is a little bit bigger than your let's say the duty. Does it make sense? Duty is a little bit smaller. Does it make sense? But the problem is too much. This is the problem, you know. Always. Understand? And then also, the power is not the power ruling, right? But the power leading. Please understand. This is very, 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 very. This concept is if you don't agree or if you don't understand that, you cannot say I am the knowledge person. You know. Please understand. And then next.
Well, in relation to that too, we talked about right versus duty.
One more time. Right one.
Rights
Right. Yeah.
versus our duty.
Yeah. Versus the duty. There should be, you know, just the in these days, every the young generation complain, you know, even my friends too, you know, very strange, you know, about the politicians, right? Their politics, right? They just totally collapse, man. So you just keep complaining, you know. Complain means what? They keep create negative energy to the society, you know. It's not to be seen, right? They must keep in the create negative energies, makes sense? Even that's what then I said, did you made a vote, you know, to some person? No, I don't need. He tasted the then complain. Without that is a minimum, there's some duty as a citizen, right? Okay, then two.
No need to go to school anymore because everything's on the internet.
Yeah, this one is also same. That means, please, we have to switch the, let's say, like change the whole paradigms, you know. Hey, now is this kind of so, scientifically very, like developed to the stage, you know. Why do you have to keep go to school? You can get the whole information even by yourself. If you have some, you know, any intention to study on something, you can study by yourself, you know. Why you create some congestion for the traffic jam and then how can I say, spend lots of time, right? The gasoline, like a social, the expenses a lot, you know. Then in these days, because they don't have that kind of the concept, most of people, if you like they do, I lose my job. The professor same, and then also drivers, Muslim same, or something like that. You know, don't worry about that. Who create me? Who create me? You know. Please understand. Father create me. Father create me. You know. He give me basic life, you know, the certain any something needs, you make sense? Some needs, right? You have to do that. That's why, please understand. If you let's suppose if you delivered some baby, then you just abandon that baby. For example, the baby hardly cannot, it's almost no chance to die, you know. That is human being, you know. Please understand. There's somebody is just took care of it. That only is a human being, you know. That's why even the money, the basic, the money, which makes you survive, that money is supposed to come to you. If you do certain job which was in front of you, that's certain job, you know, in front of you. Not just we think that like job is to become a salaryman or that kind of job, right? But in front of me, there's something you have to do. That's your job. Did you see? For example, if there is some some message, just to brush it. For example, that one is your job at the time. If you don't have any some special things, you know. That one is the Lord. That one is the providence of this, you know, how can I say, this whole universe, you know. That's why too much it's the anxious about your future or something. As long as you're doing good job, which was now in front of you. That one is the most important job. If there is nothing but you have some children, please put cheer for energy. So in front of you. If there is nothing, just to clean up somehow. anything, you understand? That only is your job, you know. If you go further, please understand cleaning is like including that one is combined with the arrangement, right? Cleaning, not just cleaning, but it should be well arranged, right? Arranged in, is make sense? Listen, you have to do certain thing is the same place, right? Organize the whole thing, and then clean up. That is the power. Please understand. The neatly was arranged that kind of state because yin and yang is very well. That's why it come out the power. Someone who arranged very well, even your desk very well, organized them. Even if you do mess, you don't know where. I need some like a eraser, but I don't know where you spend the time with it. I know that. That's the power. Please understand. So power is not just to more. I know the power. More so. That's why you have to know that everything is pretty. When the yin and yang is very, very organized, that it come out power, no doubt. You know? So that's why, please have some that kind of concept, right? If you was say there's some say husband losing the job, that's why they cannot. No, there are only lots of things to do, right? The wife, please do your job more enthusiastically. Then in the meantime, don't think about my house. And the first thing, clean up, arrange everything. Everything, even organize everything. That is the power. Please understand. No doubt. That's why power is not from the will. Power is what? First was we physical power. That's why we this way, right? The mental power is learning the loss of the knowledge, right? That only. So you're thinking. No. Even the good relationship means what? Yin and yang is very, very right. Relation is yin and yang, right? In any case, right? There was a power too. That's why the two such important human beings like the whole life is we can say this can describe like this way. The human beings we are naturally always very, very balanced. That's why always Father Heaven always on your chest, This is what we do. They usually practice when it's good ways, bad way, like that kind of thing. But just like it's slowly, because it's not visible thing. That's why it slowly collapse. That everyone said the history is same. Collapse. Then naturally, you cannot really see the Father Heaven's power. Only physical power from the Mother Earth. That's why that power is not powerful. So we disconnected, this crown point, back way, we say the back way, here. Disconnected, this energy. You understand? That's why we see, just like this one is everybody connected, right? Disconnected. That's why you and me, you are nothing to do with me, or that kind of thing. You understand? That's why you cannot use the Father's energy very much, Please understand, right? Then because today, according to the principle, the water fire down. The president water fire down. It doesn't mean more water fire down. That one is basic, but because of the water fire down, to keep here the current condition healthier, that should be essential, healthier. Then, based on health, that was first. Then after that, you have to grow. Only just to healthy condition. You doing nothing. I'm very healthy. What you are doing? So for example, they have to do. That only is 정추, 귀장, 신명. In every growth, you cannot get away from this kind of concept. This kind of some 정추, 귀장, 신명. This is a 정, 기, 신. So human beings operating system is we use 정, 기, 신. For example, this is power. This is like a spirit, like a soul, or like a lot of thing. It makes sense? A lot of thing. This one is so-called. So-called, we say this is God. God is in you. This soul. You see? So this one actually, please understand. If you even though you have a good idea, for example, good idea here is like, but here is very weak. For example, Then you don't. It's a good idea. It finished up as just a good idea. You know, nothing. You know. You should have to have the real power to, like, how can I say, incorporate that good ideas at the real society. You know, that's the most important. You know. That's why Jesus Christ, you know, go to the like barren place, 49 days, for the amazing. That's why I would say Jesus Christ is one of the greatest master in human history. His power is praise him, then he healed. It's very simple, I say, the concept. Right? He used some, their bodies are like immediately connected to heaven and then just, you know, just like sending them. One makes heaven's energy is what? Father's digit is what? 0. Does it make sense? Even the combining by to the 0, everything becomes 0, you know. 100 then makes 0, you know. That's why he healed all. Please understand that kind of meaning. Does it make sense?
I don't understand the 0.
Please understand, I told you, right? This is, we are always living under this kind of system, you know. Then, but this is like a so-called X spoke and the Y spoke. Then this one is what? 0, you know, 0. The fundamental was the perfect way. This one is the seed of the Father is here. So Father's was the number is always 0. Father's number is not the 1, but 11, but 12, nothing. 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000. 100,000. That's why 0 is the first number. That's why 0 number is if you combine 37. This is 0 number. If you plus 3 and 7, right? 3 and 7.
Mm-hmm.
This 37 is it's a very, very important. 30%, 7%. I talking a lot, right? The region of the like this, you know, the universe, one makes, you know, this universe came up. That one is based on the 7 to 3 ratio, right? 0 point. This is 0. 3 plus 0, 0. You know. That's why if you see, if you hold us at the thing, it's designed based on this kind of thing. That's why our human being also same, you know, upper part, you know. You have 0, 0, 0, 0 is 7, you know. 7. Here, lower part 3. Then everything is like that concept. That's why the 7 point means in the Tai Chi, right? Tai Chi is what? 相扑七星, right?
7 stars.
Yeah. That one, you know, 相扑七星. That's why the 7 is like it's a very, very important meaning. You know? I told you, right? We go through the 7 point, you know, which is
The 7 what?
7 point. We go through our own place, our native place, our hometown, through the number 7. Number 7 is the seat or the location of the Shangpu Qixing. That one is the North Star, Big Dipper. That one. So that's why this kind of thing. That's why the 1, 3, 7, 5, 8, 10 is other was a number is also very, very important. But as a human being, it's like a 3, 7. Here is like the lucky 7. You say the lucky 7, right? Lucky 7. And then lucky 7 is luckily I met the God. You know, that kind of meanings is included. You know, God never gives you any bad things, right? The Father, you know, He gives a lot. Our case is 3. Listen, Eastern is 3. It's very, very important. 3 too. Like anyhow, and unconsciously that kind of concept is innate in our body, you know, because we are the son of God, right? Daughter of God. There is daughter of God. You say to daughter of God, daughter of Gaia. No, it's just son of God, right? Yeah. You said the Son of God, right?
It's
We are the Son of God, right?
Yeah.
I am Son of God, right? Yeah. When I very young, I am son. When I adult, I become very, very possibility to become a God too. No doubt, you know. In my level wise, on my level, I said I become like a God on my level, and then I just communicate. When I just left my body, and then when I just stay in the fourth dimension, then the fourth dimension is no body. There's only non-material the things is staying there. Is it make sense? That's why when I go there, I just talk with that. I forgot my okay. Then the next one. Sure. Yeah. That's why, you know, the in please always when you just to see that, don't try to see just the case. The same can be said, you know, like you don't see only just one like one piece of the some, how can I say, the tree, right? You can see the some whole thing. You see, whole things, right? Just one whole thing is what percent? 70%, you know. Individual 30%. Why we put the some only one, you know. That's why our watching itself is very, very imbalanced right now. You know? You have to see the whole things too. At the same time, you have to see 30% the power should be can recognize certain each person's or something like that. There's no doubt, you know that. If you just drown it the only person, then you just drown it the only person. You don't see the whole the picture, and then you don't have so very, very small little chance to communicate to others too. Same concept, okay?
At the end of the class last week, you started to talk about the second principle of Jung Shin.
정축이자시면 되고.
Could you talk about that very basically?
Yeah, now so we are now just to after this one. This one is
So were you just talking about Jung Shin?
this one is 정기신. That one is I am not started that one, not yet. You know, like official. You know, we just to like say about this one. You know, because that one is that one is the basic principles. You know, for growing or the evolving yourself. Most important thing, you know, because of the here is don't have the some concept about the 정기신, three operational. This one is
Shin?
정기신. 정기신. So even the your was a physical body, and your soul, your was the spirit. Your soul is here. Your soul and my soul same. Spirit is different, you know. Everybody is different. Was it the concept about something, right? Was it? Is it okay? Then anything?
We talked about the fact that money is to be used. It's not mine unless I use it.
That one is, you know, please understand. I told you, right? In order to, the money is for what? Money and economic is the yin and yang concept actually. You see? Economic is it's very, very hard to touchable. But the money is on your hands, it's very, very tangible, right? That's why that one is yin and yang. Same can be said in base, there is knowledge and then the wisdom is the same concept. Is it? Wisdom is like if you comparatively that one is in and in. It makes sense? It makes sense? Inside there is the in is the I don't know. Yeah, in is the inside, in is the wisdom, and then knowledge is yang. Is it? But you know, we neglect about our the knowledge. Knowledge should, in order to, I told you what, is your knowledge is very healthy or not? Very healthy. Do you have a very healthy knowledge you have or not? You know? If your health is very, very unhealthy, then that kind of thing, you spend a lot of money and time, and you get some that kind of lots of knowledge, right? For example, knowledge. But if your knowledge is very healthy or not, then you have to check out knowledge base and then wisdom base. That one is a basic, If you are the knowledge base is very amazing, but for example, the wisdom base is like very, very shallow, too much decline. That one is a big problem, That one is someone who have some great the degrees of some doctorate or the PhD or some, then inside there is total, this side is very, very weak, then it's really because it's an imbalance. That's why it used in wrong ways. It makes sense? Because they use this balance. That's why now is the time you have to understand, that we have to understand that kind of the balance. That's why we need the for example, the wisdom based a lot. Wisdom is the same, can be said, the principle based. It makes sense? There's the wisdom is a principle based. There is the power is come out. Although I say the some knowledge based. Knowledge is what say the great what say the power is. The God cannot create knowledge. It makes sense? Even the God cannot create knowledge. Understand? God can create knowledge. So God creates. God is just wisdom itself. Understand? If you say, even so. That's why knowledge. If you just only knowledge only, but the knowledge is the power is. Without knowledging, you cannot create. Like for example, the wisdom. Is makes sense? Wisdom is you have to educate a lot and then learning a lot, and after that you have to pick up and you have to categorize. You have to create certain the wisdom. It makes sense. Certain law. It makes sense. That one is knowledge. That's why you have to handle. This, if there is so many things, also very, very categorized, it's very similar. There is certain common denominators. Then you can pick up to then make their own. Their own is a so-called extract from the system. Or say some. Their own is remains on your left brain, right? That's why their own is starting. Let's say the power to raise your conscious level up. Is makes sense? On top of that, you can keep going on. Is makes sense? That one is I told you already, right? Through the some like this kind of let's say something like die and this kind of thing, right? I told you, right? That's why you have to keep the physical body is the let's say the born and die, energy body is born and die. It makes sense? But this one just keep growing, right? This one is based on not based on the like data memory base, right? But based on the systematic, let's say some knowledge. It makes sense? You have to know the whole principles, Principle. I think maybe I would say the others. I keep thinking about what is that. For example, 10 principles of some Tai Chi movement. I think that is like a regulation, maybe, right?
A regulation?
10 regulations, probably.
Yeah.
That is not the principle, Principle applies like this way, everything, not just to do something. Principle applies to in every single something. As long as you want to, relate it with the healthy condition. You see? Healthy condition, right? That's why in the other day, since I told you, right? It's like water. Water, this is the tangent, water, one makes water, no? Fire, right? Fire, water cannot go, right? Fire, evaporate and then make water up. water energy goes on, right? And they stay here. So water up first, not the fire down first. Water up, then fire cannot go up, right? Because it's here. You press down. This here is the most important concept is what? Water up. Fire makes water up. Water's job is not you become a water or something. Your job is make a fire down. You see? Make a fire. Don't place here. With the heat. Can you? But say the control. Just imagine. With the say the very get mad. The some. But say the some heat head. Then you control your body. What will happen? So water should be here. Then water's job fire down. Fire's job is water up. That's why important thing. You have to use your energy just in front of you. You see? Which is in front of you. Which is in front of you, right? This kind of concept is inside. This one is a so-called father's character, father's essence. You see? Burn your whole energy for the purpose of others, right? That one is not the energy. Burn your whole energy and make it bright. It's bright, right? Then give the benefit to the others, around you. Most of people very dark, they live in the very dark condition, right? Make it, that's why just 0.001 point person, that one is shit amazing, That's why we do not aware how much we receive the benefit from the person who reached that point, So at that point, that one is like they never do something. Naturally, if you go there, then naturally you do. Under this kind of high position, they can do just to create this conspire something and they, to get into certain, but his own purpose cannot, impossible, That one is this one, That's why if we just apply this one in our society, right? Society, right? Then it's like this is water. Water is what? Water like water and fire. Fire down. Fire is like like money, right? Very powerful, right? This one is knowledge. Money should be used for your knowledge up, your knowledge level up, and then stay there. Knowledge is make, not just don't be proud of yourself, but your knowledge energy should be fire down, money down, and then make him a good job. Keep your body very, very powerfully. Is missing? Physical very, very powerful. But because we hear the water is what? It's like it represents, let's say the wisdom. Is missing? This woman has a wisdom. Is missing? Now is the time. The woman's job is this is the woman's era. Means what? It doesn't mean like woman become or something. When you're growing up, until you're fully growing up, we don't need woman's say the wisdom. Is wisdom. If your woman's wisdom when you're growing, it's a very lots of quarrelsome. Is wisdom. Because the wisdom itself is very, very high consciousness. That's why when you're just walking, now it's hand to mouth, then that one is if you do that one is not working. What is goddamn? Like maybe they just slept and then the woman probably cannot survive. Under this condition. When you fully grown up, as a man's job is finished, this is time. You have to pour down your wisdom. But the woman are not ready to this one, because when this one, usually not you all, but usually people, woman is staying in your home, for example, usually, they spend lots of money, right? For example, if the father, the spouse, has lots of money, at that time you have to keep prepared, because when you reach, my husband probably will face with certain difficulties at that time. In order for prepares that time, you have to keep like raise your knowledge up or the wisdom up. Does it make sense? At that time, now you need it, but at that time you didn't do that. Like he just searching for some buying some very more like Gucci was some like very expensive, $3,000 more like that go to spa and then more so. That's why, because that one is because we didn't know that this whole system, you know. That's why you spend very we spend it the last, let's say it's a great time, but you are not time, but it's only almost there's no what's say the woman who let's say they can provide the let's say the wisdom one makes, you know, your husband goes through this let's say the blockages. Agree with you or not?
I don't understand that.
Oh, there. Which one? Which way?
What you just talked about, we're not ready for the women are not ready for.
In these days.
In these days.
In these days, the time, because we fully advanced, we fully grown. 70% is make sense?
Right,
70%.
uh-huh,
Right? Now is the time, because they're stopped, right? Everything is stopped, right? Now the
women are stuck?
no,
or-
this whole what's it?
I think
The whole-
society.
This
Society
society is totally.
What
We
he's-
just we like a physical base. Everything comes out, you know.
I think
Mm.
he's saying
We
it's
talk
time-
about we just now stopped, you know, this
Yeah,
line.
I-
It's
I
70%,
understand
right?
that, I understand.
That's why we
that.
cannot go forward any one step.
It's time for the paradigm to
Mm.
shift,
Mm.
Right,
And so I think through history up to this point, because society's been building and building and building and growing and growing and growing,
Young base.
men have been very much in that leadership role, right?
Mhm.
But now it's time for that paradigm to flip, and it's time for the women's knowledge to be more in the spotlight, right?
Woman's wisdom
But-
is now this era is we need woman's wisdom.
But I think also women are not ready because they don't have a concept of water up, fire down, Chongqishen, right? These kind of principles, right?
Yeah, because you know, because this time we need this one is like construction time, building time, right? This whole things, right? Is it make sense? Right? Under the name of the progress or something,
Yeah.
right? At the
Carnegie,
time,
Steel.
it's just you know the sort of like a physical body or the fire energy should be needed, right? No more, you know. This part, you know, if you go through. That's why we need a woman's wisdom. It makes sense. This is a man's era, now woman's era. The problem is woman has not ready to pour down their own wisdom, because you never almost I would say woman usually 99% cannot prepare towards this was the era. Just to know that you have to when people go out, then you have to read or something. There's a lot of time, you know. You have to develop by yourself, study by yourself. Even you go to let's say the church, then it's okay. In the church, you have to like swallow the whole the information to there, you know. Only just like this way. No, that's why after that, definitely, if you got the last of the certain, let's say the knowledge, then there is something come out. Does it make sense? There is something. Without knowledge, you just cannot. Someone who is without any education and he's a very, how can I say, has a really high level of wisdom, that kind of thing. That only is the very rare case, and usually there's like a theosophical person. Does it make sense? That's why, and then that one is also usually not that as they keep going on, and then also that one is also related with a certain little karmas too. That one too. Because of that, they do not, let's say, they got a chance to work, because he do not receive the proper circumstances. If you have some really great, what's say the amazing, what's say the something great too, and then you have some very so talented, then if you what's say the circumstances probably it's very, very hard to unfold your own, let's say, the talent or your knowledge. Then it's very, very, same can be said. Even the same seed, right? It was it dropped in the North Pole, right? It cannot, right? Cannot growing up, right? That kind of thing. Even the barren, even the desert. Because that is the environment, is mentioned. That environment, they need their environment, is mentioned. Please understand. That is the best way. Father never give you any bad thing, always best thing. That kind of thing, don't complain. You need something you learn from there. Please understand like that. Now please understand, it's like a full fire. Then very cold head has here. That's why you have to just to respect, that when they keep here. Now is what happened. Because the money is come here, money just control like the whole things, That's why this society very, very weak, Does it make sense? If fire is not here, fire is try to ruling the whole of your body. What happened, Your body is very, very weak and collapsed. This is now we are faced with this kind of some era. It applies to everything. Father will up fire down is there. If you think fire is like this kind of fire, no, that one is just why not? That one is one part, small part of fire. But the fire energy doesn't mean that fire-like characters of the energy. That kind of meaning. So fire energy is what? He just keep going up. He keep expanding. This makes sense. Keep going up. And then if you move, then it's gone, right? That's why. Five element. So he just no more. In the Tai Chi, keep step forward. And then fire this way. No more. If you keep don't stop. That's why we step side, right? This one is so cool. Like I conclude like this way. Listen. Serious. Listen. Like no more. If you use the energy all the way outside, then you cannot keep, That's smart. And side step. And even the speed, even the back step. And we come back again. Listen. Because that's why, for example, let's suppose Gina. Gina, you are just acted as like a nurse, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then also especially for the like a baby delivery, right?
Mm-hmm.
That one, there is only few the percentage based, the very few persons they have some very similar, let's say the experience, right? Same like you. It's very similar, like a few, right? If you see the whole, let's say the some, then what percentage the nurse,
Oh,
Maybe.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
No, that's why.
There's a smaller percentage of
Yeah, please,
obstetrics and
yeah, from now, just apply this one, For example, definitely there is something this kind of concept will inspire you. How to deliver this baby most like safely, and then also like health ways, Please should apply this in the whole certain the concept, Before deliver, as the mom, how you can treat, Please put this the certain concepts, and then please write down. Then you are the authority on that the place, and then you just you create this your own thesis, and then just to to share it with the whole someone who has the same job like you have, That one is great. That one is current to your job, My one is my job is this one. This is not my job. Does it make sense? My job is now just like this one. I do that job. That's why based on the yoga Tai Chi, I can say I'm authority in the world through the whole of the human history. Because I just apply that one exactly. There is nobody so far. You see? That's why I would say like that way. I try to give the right way to do. And then in the meantime, I give some key emphasize then, please have experience. Then this is not enough, right? That's why maybe I can give provide certain good book. Then in this field, which one is come up in front of me? That was my job, you know. This one is when I have some. This one is not my main job. It's my main job is this one. This one, without neglect your main job, doing something that one is wrong. You know, I have some afford to giving this kind of job. That's why I do that. This one, my main job for get along is the Tai Chi and then that one. You know. So based on that, I just try to what is the best way to contribute for this society. You know, this one is I think do this very well, and then this one, it's totally mixed with. You see, that's why principle. You know, yoga and Tai Chi and the principal therapy is very much related. Is make sense? That's why I'm but this is what makes me very happy. You know? Very, it's a good match. That's why I do like this. But maybe you can use, even though like a scientist, or it doesn't matter, definitely, if you understand this kind of whole concept, then, definitely, it makes you very, very valued person, and then there's a good chance to contribute, dedicate, your life for this, the whole society, right? Today, in these days, the problem is maybe here is the same because the other days in the Wall Street, right? There's 99%, 1%, but that kind of picket is there. 99% is very poor, but 1% very rich, but that kind of thing. Nowadays, today early mornings was they just reported, and then like this way, age 20 to 30, the age in our country, this kind of persons is the lower part and the upper part. This person is usually they are now just to become adult, and then they just to very the lower part grade of the certain company, right? This age, but this kind of energy is like a big. The difference is 35 times. For example, there's $1. They have $35. Then, this kind of things happen, when their asset including everything, then if they have 100, then they have $3,000 because of this person has a good father, very supporting very well, It came from because on this age, this kind of money cannot untouchable, impossible, with their best company or something without parent support. This cannot. But because of this kind of digit, most of the groups, this one is 85%, also 15%. That's because of that, these persons, they lose the motivation to work. Because it's impossible to even getting some house in our country. That's why they're here too.
It's very hard for young people to have enough money to buy a house.
Yeah. So that's why now they do not, they just complain a lot, and then they distrust this government, and then also this is the main group. That's why they do not get married because they don't have money. They protest. That's why please check out. You check out the baby producing ratio is the world
Lowest.
bottom, number 1 in the world.
Yeah.
Please check out. check out. Which country is the most lowest, I say, the
Of the
population?
developing countries,
Mhm.
or developed countries.
That's Korea. Now, it's the most quickly
Korea?
Korea.
It's very
And then
similar
also-
here.
Most of us say the biggest ratio for the shoe size is Korea too. Check out that one.
Which two?
Mm.
Oh my
Are
God.
So,
we seeing-
so the, how would you say that, the,
I don't have signal.
The birth rate is,
birth,
birth rate of
is
South
South
Korea.
Korea, the,
But
Birth
I
rate.
does South Korea have the lowest birth
don't
rate?
have signal here.
Birth rate is based on the like population, you know, not the China. So China is like
My
La, la.
reception is really bad in here.
Oh, your reception.
Yeah, it's only one bar.
is that right?
I have T-Mobile.
I cut out an article, I'll bring it next time.
It's huge.
Oh.
Hard copy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's in the paper?
Yeah, it said in the
She
newspaper.
told me today that Korea is also like that.
Oh,
Si-
really?
Si- Singapore maybe.
No, the Korea is.
I don't
then
have
the-
reception.
I don't understand it like that. But
And the country is spending billions of dollars to try and get
yeah,
young
yeah,
people
not just
to
$1 billion,
have
you know.
babies.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
not just $1 billion.
Oh.
They try to support a lot.
2019 it was Singapore. 2020 it was South Korea.
That's why. Which one
It's
is
the
first?
lowest. It's
Lowest is what?
0.84 births per woman.
Mm-hmm. That one is who?
South
That's
Korea.
South Korea.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
As
the replacement level
Korea-
rate
Korea is number one, you know.
the replacement level rate
How
needs
about
to be
the ratio for the shoe
2.1.
size?
Yeah, I'll look.
Shoe size?
Shoe size.
Suicide,
Oh, suicide, sorry.
Oh.
not shoe size.
Oh, I heard
I was like, what?
Not shoe size. shoe size.
I was like, shoe size.
I
Kill
thought it
himself.
was Latvia or something was the top. for
So you know, like in these days, for example, the like university for 2 grade, for example, then 3 persons go to the one room, the man, 2 women and 1 man. They put some like the gases, something, and then they should die.
Oh, man.
Even the car, they die. That kind of thing happening a lot. Not just 1 or 2 person, you know, prison stand.
Do you have reception?
Mm-hmm.
For the suicide? I don't
Um,
know which country it is.
Which countries is the most best, or say the country for the subways?
Oh.
Subway
Okay, amongst OECD
Mhm.
countries,
amongst OECD countries.
which I don't know what that is.
No, OECD is a developing
Co-
country.
Korea has the highest,
Yeah.
but Lesotho,
Hmm.
I think, has the highest total.
Even though subway is best in which please check
Subway
out
is-
Suicide or
Seoul.
subway?
check out the subway.
Subway is Korea.
He
The
was
Seoul.
saying suicide.
The suicide.
Even
too?
the physical base, you know, the subways is really surprised, you know, how we developed. Usually 3 tiers, you know,
China
usually 3
too.
tiers
You
like
gotta
this
give
way.
some credit
No.
to China.
It's like even the like a physical base is so I said abandoned for then, but people died, you know. Why? Because it's unhealthy, you know. Very unhealthy, you know. It's no doubt, you know, this one. And then also maybe there is something in the population base very important. That's why if you keep going, maybe how many years? It's not too far. Maybe within 50 years, our country is disappeared because no persons. This one.
When I was looking at the fertility rate,
Facility what?
when I was looking at the fertility rate,
Mhm.
it said the replacement rate was 2.1. So
Mhm.
every woman should be giving birth to 2.1 children to replace the dying, right? But the fertility rate's 0.89.
What it
Yeah.
means?
So compare 0.89
Mhm.
is the fertility rate.
Mm-hmm.
The replacement rate, what
Mhm.
it should be to keep
Mhm.
the population where it is,
Mhm.
2.1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it is shrinking.
So that's why. And also, in any case, you know, the healthy,
Absolutely.
healthy condition should be well balanced. Is mentioned. Bone is what? Bone is young, what? Young.
Mhm.
bar is in. You know, see? It should be. It's the bone is a little bit bigger than this point, right? That's why it's keep growing. You know? That's why you have to put this kind of concept, you know, in every something.
Okay, but
Not
then-
just insist you have to do more every one person, more something like that, then which not like that. Fundamental base, you know. You know, do you want our country healthier, for example? Then please follow this one. Is there anyone say the objection? Do you want our country to like destroyed? It's like a very simple thing, you know, this one.
So if we fix water up, fire down
Mhm.
with the economy
Mm-hmm.
and wealth distribution,
It's so amazing.
then we'll see it
Mhm.
come out in birth rate, fertility,
Definitely.
everything else, and then
Definitely.
everything can continue to
Definitely,
Right.
100% right.
Yeah.
That's why our was say the whole is very sick and then unbalanced. Then how the individual want to be the healthier, you know. That's why yin and yang that one. Listen, in first, you know. In first. That's why he said yin and yang, not the yang and yin. Listen. And then, like, because this one is correct. 7, okay. Just like, please understand, the other days I told you, right? The modern science or the modern like development is based on the yang base, right? I told you, right? I told you everything is there is the invisible part and visible part, right? The yang and yin. I told you, right? Then, now this one, what makes keep going on? This energy. This is the energy body, physical body, and then this is the information body. It's a body. That's why this one, everything is developed and advanced based on this concept, right? The visible, touchable, and then big energy. Like this kind, right? The subtle energy body and the information body, this is not considered when you do something so far. That's why, please understand, the shift of the, like, how can I say, the paradigm means, now, not this one, you finish this one, you know. The new paradigm is based on this one. Even though we need the education, not this one. We already did, fully achieved. But this one, based on this one. This is a paradigm shift, you know. But still, the whole was when you reach the 70%, reach the last of discrepancy, and then now we have to shift, you know, with this base ways, like information base means what? That one is the intellectual base based on the the wisdom base, so that kind of thing. Wisdom is like a so-called law base. Listen, law. L-A-W, law base, right?
Yes.
Okay. Freedom state. That's why this kind of thing is so called the shifting the paradigm. You know, we cannot solve out this problem with this kind of system. What makes it grow so far? Does it make sense? You cannot. It's not work. You know. That's why. Now the school system is not work. You know. Today, one of our number 5 was say the number 5 the ranked was say the university. 85 you can go through the maybe today. 85% they just let go. You know, they just get in. Then I don't need this kind of thing. 85% already this kind of things happen. You know now. Because they don't need to, why you go there. You know. Even if you know what human beings was the purpose and as the essence, then usually why they go? We brainwashed, right? If you do not go to create something, then we hard to get some great to make the money. They do that, right? How stupid, you know? That era is gone, you know. Please understand. Even it's like that era is gone. There is still, I say, the very important that so far that power, because you know, that one is the basic power for pick up the support of I say the wisdom or the law. Is my say? No, that one. Who made the pull that student out and put them in the like class, you know? That's so-called teacher, right? Teacher. They want to teacher has no concept in these days, but because of you, I really want you growing up. It's not that thing, you know. They want to just keep their seat, and then they try to receive some money, like a forever, something like that. That one is this kind of concept, you know, because we do not have this kind of based in the education, you know. This one, not just this one, it's essential, you know. But we finish this one. Problem is, that's why now. Let's come here. It makes sense, right? You agree or not?
You're saying that the present education system is based on the educators wanting their salary and their pension.
Pension, what? Pension,
The-
what?
Are you saying that the present education system is not based on what's good for the students, but what's good for the professors, the teachers, wanting their salary, to protect their salary and their pensions?
Yeah, so they want to just to, for example, if you know just soon you know if the new generation they aware this one is really no, I don't need it for survive by myself. I don't need it to make my life abundant. Then I think I don't need to go to the I don't want to spend that money that much. I don't spend my precious time, you know, on the school. Soon come, you know, this one. I told you, right? 20 years ago, I just said that soon this one come up. That, you know, this one is because speed is like exponentially, it's keep going up, right?
Yes.
With a short period, it's like developed a lot, you know. This one is soon coming up, you know. That's why. And then because of they are just brainwashed, you know, so powerful. That's why if I go, then I cannot survive to this something, you know. There is who creates you, you know. We are the human being, you know. We are from the here. Please understand. Our essence is from here. You know. Don't worry about something, you know. Who makes you some like that anxious about like that way? Someone, if they do, there's a lots of benefit. Who got some benefit? They made like that way, you know. Even in these days, you know. Just even, for example, you are now learning for example, mathematics. One person is enough in the world. For example, as a human being, has a dignity to receive. It's a right to receive the best towards the quality of the some education. You know? Only one person, the so-called Einstein, like one person, he spread out it within few minutes. You know, just go out. You know, everybody can see that one. Then most people, you know, we lose the job. It's your thinking, you know. Please do your job in front of you. Even, I said, nevertheless, you know, some even there is something as a like a automatic system or the ITs cannot do. There is something the men's, for example, men's was said the laboring. Is laboring was said the cost is a certain period is very high, you know. Now in these days, someone who's doing some the finishing the brick wall finishing. Usually they make this kind of one piece in the whole thing, and then, but you know the certain part they have to do that, you know, by the hands, you know. their the wage is the more than very very high. Oh, even the in these days. I don't understand. Anyhow, so like this, there is something. That's why, please understand. Do job, which is in front of you. I told you, right? Just and then just keep doing. That's why now just like this person, the 35 times the higher was the income, and this one. That's why they complain a lot, and then also there's supporting lots of knowledge. That was said the adult they was said support this person. This was the demonstration. But you have to know that this one, what is the money means, What is wealthy means? Wealthy means. He has lots of money, right? What? Lots of money, what? But the someone who here, nevertheless, who did very diligently study, and then also even just little money, and then just keep, just work very hard. They has no money, right? But this person is like the school base are more brilliant than why this person. If they, as long as they complain about that, they becomes more difficult and difficult, Because this person has a young base wealth, Young base wealth, It's like they are very, very rich, in the young base, money base. How about you? If you just do your job, like in the very, very diligent, you are the knowledge base very, very rich, That's why you are here. Please, there's some reason why you involved in these groups, But you have to do no money. That you have no chance to the vacancy or the something will go around the world. But then just don't complain. Do your job. Not only so, this is also yin and yang. Please understand. They has a very knowledge, very, very advanced. I mean, as long as you do your job from here, don't complain. Then then what they do, they just to keep some just to do that. Yeah, do that. Please, equip the whole knowledge and the qualified in every direction as a human being, and to keep the growing yourself. Then someday, but this person is different, This person needs the materials for the future, Please understand. The knowledge person for the future, For the new, the new society, New, it's supposed to come in front of you. Because this knowledge person, at that time, this person is what? They're waiting for the invest, Invest, Without invest, how can you invest, Without the knowledge person, there's no ways to invest something, That's why, please don't complain. Do your job. Is there. This one is the principles too, But our ruling, the standardization of the evaluate something has a lot of money. It's a young base, Even they don't know how to use that one. You see? I told you, if you come to an energy, please use it if possible more than what you hold. That one is the right, really best way to live. But then hardly people can do that, because quality is low. Impossible with that one, almost. Then if you do not use it, then what happened? To use it. Because lots of money, you cannot use that money. You keep, some, and then also they tried to invest this one, for example, for the long way, just invest for the certain, how can I say, the Bitcoin something, for purpose is what? for getting more money, even he do not use that one. This one is a big problem, you know. This person, just wait and see what happens, you know. If you cannot use, then please, you know, I just use then stay there, not to accumulate some money, you know. Put your money, stay there, you know. So do not use that one is for this certain the long ways, you know. Just to use it here. That was not the purpose, the money, but the some getting the some more was the accumulate money, right? That person accumulate money, that person because very very low, control level is very low. No doubt there is certain swindle something like a rip suppose came up and they took it up, hold up, you know. Staying there is different, you know. It is staying there and then he let's say to lose the money, that kind of person also because you do not use that money. That's why energy should be shifted, right? That's shifted, you know. You understand? So when you use that one is to use something, and then if you use some money, then based on the principle 이냈냐? If you use the money, then that much of the money, if you use the money, supposed to come back because that's empty, you know. For example, that one is a principle, you know. That's why therefore, you know, not just to like don't shrink or something. Please, you if you have a certain like a in order to use it, can you use your money? Well, hardly cannot, you know, without knowing the principle or something, without firm conviction about the principles, then how can you use, you know? Because you are already totally brainwashed, you know, certain for the purpose of the future you save the money, right? For you, that money is like for you. That's why I told you money is the coming from the low persons. Money is do not create some educated person or not. Educated person is planning, you know. Money is came from the some this kind of person, you know, hand to mouth. Then money is the very that one is the like is created by the like low persons like sweat and blood, you know. That's why as long as you understand, you have to use right. You cannot use abuse, you know, your money in long ways, you know, because how precious, you know, this money, you know. Now I have it, you know. You have to use in the right way for the purpose of whole. Oh. Use that one, you know. When you use, that is your money. If you do not use, you left that one, it's whole without using it and tied. Right? Make sense? How about the Gina? Do you have any something? Because already 7. That's why we cannot step forward. But this is what this kind of contents is related to hold like 정축이장 신명, especially 신명, is what it's related. Everything is related. That's why this one is a growing base. It relates everything, you know. But in order to grow in right way, you should have to healthy. This one, that's why water fire down. Then this one after that one. Only just to like enlighten everything to them. That is nothing, you know. You have to do something. You have to incorporate. What you keep that one is works one or not. That one is a so-called we call it like a social study, studying of the the society. You know? Okay. Then there is we just categorize like there is the study of principles, after that study of practices, makes sense, and then study of the the society, makes sense. That one is that's why every the something. That one is the first one is the first one. You have to understand who you are, you know. Without knowing, you know, without foundation, doing something, collapse, you can't come back again here. So it's okay. Let's finish the class and then also.